to shed more light on an incident where Education CS Magoha was captured on camera insulting him during an inspection tour of Langas Primary School in Eldoret about 2 weeks ago. The CS is said to have been upset by the state of hygiene at the school. A teachers' union from the region say the CS should be reprimanded for his arrogance and for disrespecting teachers.
We learned this from the public that there were some issues that occurred and we wanted him to shed light.
Now, Nakuru County residents are mourning yet again the death of Samuel Mbugua, who was the Member of County Assembly for London Ward in Nakuru Town. His death comes barely 2 weeks after the death of Hell's Gate MCA John Njuguna, who succumbed to COVID-19 complications. NTV's Ruth Samwe joins us live from Nakuru County with more details. Ruth, a difficult time indeed. What can you tell us?
Well, Mr. Samuel Mbugua was confirmed dead this morning after he died from a short illness. He was admitted at the War Memorial Hospital after he was taken ill on Tuesday. And according to the chairperson of County Assembly's Forum, Ndegwa Wahome, he has confirmed that the virus has taken 5 MCAs from different areas from different county assemblies within the country due to COVID-19, and 2 of them are from Nakuru County. 1 is from Kisii, 1 is from Uasin Gishu, and 1 is from Mombasa. And also Ndegwa Wahome confirmed that 4 speakers had been confirmed to have tested positive for COVID-19. Also 10 other MCAs have been admitted in different hospitals for the virus. Also, it is said that the death of Mr. Mbugua comes days after MCA, I think, wamekata sauti imeharibu.
Right, apologies for that, but that was NTV's Ruth Samwe joining us live from Nakuru. We'll try get hold of her once again later in this broadcast. Elsewhere, a Nairobi court has temporarily halted the burial of Matungu MP Justice Murunga, pending the hearing and determination of a case filed before it. The case involves Agnes Wangoi Wambiri versus Christabel Murunga and Grace Murunga, who are all fighting to be recognized as the spouses to the late MP and ensure that their children are catered for once the remains of the deceased have been interred. The late Murunga succumbed to COVID-19 complications on Saturday in Mumias after suffering breathing issues at his home, forcing the family to rush him to hospital. Details emerging from the death say that the legislator succumbed because of lack of oxygen and ventilator machines at the local hospital, where he was rushed to first before then being moved to the St. Mary's Mission Hospital in Mumias, where he then passed on.
On the following grounds. 1, he has 2 children born outside wedlock, and those children demand that they be included. He also be allowed to be involved in the burial programs of their father, of the husband, or the father of their children. 2, they want to participate from the church service, they want to participate in decision making, they want to participate in the eulogy, they want to be identified and be recognized as children and as beneficiaries of the estate of the late Member of Parliament.
Now, as the country continues to record an increase in COVID-19 infections, health practitioners are calling upon the government to take heed to their needs and concerns. This comes as the country has recorded 30 deaths among healthcare workers, with more health workers testing positive across the country. We're now joined by NTV's Helen Aura, who's at the St. Paul Chapel, where the family of the late Dr. Jacqueline Njoroge held a memorial service in celebration of her life. Helen.
Smriti, it's indeed a sad state of affair for the medical fraternity in the country. This is following the rising number of deaths among healthcare workers. Today, even as we celebrate the life of the late Dr. Jacqueline Njoroge, one of the things that have been stressed the most is that it's a reminder for us as a nation and our leaders to focus on the pandemic and to take it seriously instead of having misplaced priorities as a nation. And healthcare workers at the moment feel as if they have been neglected by the government. This is due to lack of sufficient PPE kits across the counties, lack of a proper health cover. They also want the health committee to be constitutionalized. This, they say, will assist in issues regarding preventing healthcare workers across the country, also ensuring employment of sufficient healthcare workers across the country as well. On the other note, also, the other thing that they say is that as per today, 2,167 healthcare workers have tested positive for COVID-19, while 30 have succumbed to the virus. This is quite alarming indeed, and that's why we understand when most of them say they feel like the government has taken a backseat, stating that their PPE kits are in storage at KEMSA, yet they themselves across the countries are not able to with PPE kits as well. Even we understand that the late Dr. Jacqueline Njoroge had even raised the issue before her demise. As well, Kiambu County State.
All right, apologies for that audio. Helen Aura there, coming to us live from the St. Paul Chapel. All right, let's take you now to the western part of the country, where the Education Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, is currently visiting some schools. He is speaking at the moment. Let's listen in to what he has to say.
The stakeholders who are education experts, and we have come out with a timetable which will save the year. I would want all the experts who think they know better to understand that if they have another system which they think can still save the year, rather than just saying this will not work, tell us what you think you want to adjust. Otherwise, the brains are hard behind the stakeholders are the very best this country has, and I think the constant is the child, and therefore I'm pleading with everybody else to accept the timetable and to support it and focus on the struggles that the parents are going to have, those parents who still have to pay a little fees for the body. I want to thank you very much for your cooperation, and I want to ask the Fourth Estate also to continue to help us to deliver this. This is a presidential legacy subject, even though it comes under economic stimulus. I, at a personal level, am very happy because I have seen desks. They have been taken to all nooks and corners of this nation, and ours is to ensure that it is delivered promptly, and I'm hoping that maybe by the end of next week we can have a report to say it has been done. I thank you very much. Thank you.
Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha speaking there live from Kisumu County. He was addressing the press at the Kosawo Primary School in Kisumu town. He is, or has been rather, visiting various schools in the region this morning. He visited Basweta Primary and Kapchemgun Secondary and also Musiro Primary. From what we caught, he said that the Ministry of Education has come out with a timetable that should give us the way forward on schools reopening, and also he indicated that desks to all schools should be delivered by next week. So that's certainly something that we will be keeping a close eye on. All right, from that, let's take you to a different region, and 4 people have been killed in fresh attacks in Kapedo this morning, just days after a peace meeting was held in the same area by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission and also leaders from Baringo and Turkana counties. Now, the 4 are said to have been ambushed while fetching firewood in the contested area. That's on the border of Baringo and Turkana counties. Tension is currently high in the area. We can now cross over to NTV's Bridget Ngana, who has more on those ongoing efforts to restore calm and peace in Kapedo. Bridget.
Well, Smriti, you've just found me in the office of the Regional Commissioner, George Natembeya. He was there on Saturday, and that is when he was part of the peace efforts in that area. They had a peace meeting with the communities there in Kapedo, and it is surprising that today unconfirmed reports say 4 people have been killed in an ambush and an attack in an area. According to the information that we have, is that in Kapedo, women do not go to fetch firewood, but it is the reserve of boys or young men in that community, so that they help the people because of the insecurity. But the regional commissioner is going to give us a real perspective on what is the issue on the ground and how many people so far, Mr. Natembeya, have been killed in that fresh ambush, and what really is the situation days just after you spoke with the people and told them to live cohesively.
So far, we still have very conflicting reports, but it confirmed that one person was killed, very badly injured, and actually his body was mutilated. But we still have other confirmed reports that there are 3 other people who have also died, but we want to confirm, and confirmation by seeing the what happened today was a very unfortunate incident, because on 5th, 6th and 7th we had a meeting with all the leaders in the region, led by the governor, senators, members of parliament and members of the county assemblies, and we agreed that we are going to work together because the participation.
It seems that we lost audio there during that interview. Apologies for that. We'll try get Bridget and her guest back. But first, we've got to take a quick break on NTV at 1. Do stay with us. I'll be back with more.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Chrissy bila worries. Chrissy na Naivas is now on with the biggest and tastiest offers this festive season. Every day, 350 winners Kula shopping voucher worth 2,000 shillings. All you need to do is simply present your Naivas card when you shop for your chance to be one of the winners. Naivas saves you money.
Ruiru Mabati Factory offers best quality mabati at the most affordable prices. We pride in over 10 years experience. Our products have 15-year warranty and are KEB certified. We manufacture box profile, Europe tile, Jenga tile, corrugated profile, among others in a wide variety of colors. Enjoy our free delivery in just 72 hours. To order, call us now on 0111 050 700. Ruiru Mabati Factory, mali safi kwa bei poa.
Oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood. Life can be this good.
KCA University will celebrate its 12th graduation ceremony this Friday, 20th November 2020. The chief guest will be Professor Olive Mugenda, the second Chancellor of KCA University. Catch the virtual live proceedings of the ceremony on NTV. KCA University, creating transformative leaders for the 4th Industrial Revolution.
Thanks very much for staying with us on NTV at 1. We can now take you back to Nakuru, where NTV's Bridget Zingana was speaking to the Rift Valley Regional Commissioner, that is George Natembeya, regarding the 4 deaths that occurred this morning in Kapedo. There were fresh attacks. Bridget, over to you.
Thank you. We do apologize for the technical hitch, but I'm going to just speak with the Regional Commissioner right now. Mr. Natembeya, they are saying that 4 people have died. What is the official position from the government regarding the death?
What happened today is that about 30 young people were going to fetch firewood in a place called Sola, which is about 12 kilometers from Kapedo. Kapedo is a place where we've got our security installations there, including in the military. These people were ambushed by a group of bandits, and so far we've recovered the body of one 18-year-old boy. The search is still on. We're still getting reports that maybe 3 other people have also been killed, but we are yet to confirm. Our officers are on the ground trying to recover the bodies, if any, and also try to get these bandits.
You were there on Saturday on a peace initiative. What really is the situation right now? Does it mean that the talks you had have failed?
What happened today was most unfortunate because on 5th, 6th, and 7th the other week, we had a meeting of all the elected leaders at KSG in Baringo. The aim was to bring them on board because for some time now we've been dealing with these security issues without serious involvement of the political leadership. So we had that meeting and we agreed that we'll start with the public engagements at the place which is most notorious for this incident of security, and that's Kapedo. And all the governors in the region actually came to Turkana, West Pokot, Baringo, Nandi, Uasin Gishu, and all the senators, members of parliament, they were there. And we had a very good meeting. And we agreed that our people are going to start now engaging, even including engaging in business and trade and visiting each other. Yes. In fact, these 30 people had the confidence of going to look for fire in that particular place because they knew there is peace. Yes. So there's somebody we believe who wants to sabotage these peace efforts because the individuals, some of them elected leaders, who thrive in chaos. And therefore, when there's peace between these two communities, they tend to become irrelevant. But we are saying now, going forward, we are not going to allow them to derail what we've started. We want this place to be as peaceful as the other areas like between West Pokot and Marakwet.
Successive regional commissioners have been trying to bring peace and calm in Kapedo for years. Will you be the one who's going to see that this area resumes normalcy in the future, or you'll still live here maybe when we have this problem?
That's the only agenda I have in the Rift Valley for now. We've pacified all the other areas. The only area that is left is that Kapedo area, Kapedo, Lomelo, Nadome, Kamuge, and the epicenter of all this, where all the criminals come from, is Lale. We are going to cure this problem. That one I can assure the people of that particular area that we are going to deal with this problem firmly and we are going to put it behind us. Yeah.
Even after the threats that you issued?
We don't issue empty threats. That was just a warning, and actually we told people that they should bring firearms voluntarily. But now they are trying to tell us that they cannot bring the firearms voluntarily, and actually they're going to use them to kill people. So it's basically that thrown down the gauntlet, so we're going to pick it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is George Natembeya. Remember, on Saturday he was very vocal, saying that he was not going to take the violence in that area easily and lightly, and he's repeated that. We do know that this is an area that has been a thorn in the flesh of the government in terms of controlling the residents of that area and also putting an end to the banditry that has seen even the security officials lose their lives. It is a story we are following up on in detail. We will engage him in a more detailed interview, but for now, Smriti, that's what's up here in Nakuru. But the issue that happened was in Kapedo earlier this morning, where 4 people, unfortunately, were killed in an ambush attack.
Bridget, thanks for that and the insight from the Regional Commissioner. NTV's Bridget Zingana there, coming to us live from Nakuru. Now, in keeping its commitment to empower audiences, Nation Media Group has become the first media house to launch a new podcast service under its digital brand Nation.Africa. Through the digital platform, which seeks to revolutionize the way that news is consumed, audiences will now be able to discover, enjoy and engage with African stories. In telling the dreams, ways and stories of the African people, Nation will deliver the vibe of Africa. Genres such as sports, entertainment, lifestyle, hard news and soft news will be featured. The release of episode 1 of the podcast series is already up. That is case number 0. Well, this is an investigation into the disappearance of journalist turned blogger Bogonko Bosire. Members of the public can access the podcast through www.nation.africa/audio. Plenty to look forward to. Elsewhere, the Likoni floating bridge in Mombasa will be open to the public next month. The 1.9 billion shilling project is in the final stages of construction, and engineers project that the remaining works will be complete in 3 weeks' time. NTV's coast reporter Kevin Mutai also reports that the bridge will strictly be accessible to pedestrians and that no bicycles, motorbikes or tuk-tuks will be allowed.
The construction of the Likoni floating bridge is in its final stages, with only a few weeks left for the bridge to terminate at the southern mainland. The 800 meters long bridge has been designed to have a 6 meters wide walkway with a 150 meter section that is movable. The movable parts will be connected to a motor to open wide and allow vessels navigate through and dock at the port of Mombasa.
The foundation is a piling which have gone deep underground. The second one is the steel structure, which is a structure supporting the floating bridge. Then the third one is the pontoon. This is a location where it will be closing and opening.
We expect that by the 15th of next month, we should be able to see the Mwananchi crossing very safely, securely, and easily from one part of Mombasa to the other part of Mombasa, from the mainland to the island and from the island to the mainland.
The bridge will decongest the ferries where physical distancing has been a distant idea, especially now that the country is battling with COVID-19 pandemic. Only pedestrians will be allowed to use the floating bridge, with no bicycles or even motorbikes allowed.
It's an iconic bridge. It will be very attractive, as you can see, and it will be a pull factor to our tourism. Many people would want to come and enjoy the mere sight of people walking over water. It will not be a miracle anymore.
The government also says that plans are underway to construct bus termini at both sides of the bridge to allow easy movement of the people. The official commissioning of the project is expected to be conducted by the head of state. It is also anticipated to help thousands of commuters who depend on these critical services to cross between the island and the mainland.
So sasa utakuwa unaandaliwa mambo yako kwa ati saa ya feri ni saa ngapi? Ni wewe masaa yako na kazi yako ikifika unavu ile itatusimamisha kidogo, labda ni meli ikipita.
The Kenya National Highways Authority maintains that the floating bridge will be safe even during harsh ocean conditions. Kevin Mutai, NTV in Mombasa.
Certainly look forward to that, but yes, safety is a concern. And I also wonder how long it will take somebody to cross that bridge from one end to another. You probably need to plan your journey ahead of time. All right, from that, let's shift focus to the sports news. Watson, what do you have for us?
Plenty coming from the world of football. And the interesting thing about that bridge is that walking is much better than, just sitting in a car and, being driven across the bridge. Some exercise. We are a walking nation, ain't we, after all? Well, let's talk about football. And we start with former Harambee Stars coach Francis Kimanzi. He's the new Wazito FC head coach. The 44-year-old has signed a 4-year deal ahead of the 2020 2021 FKF Premier League season that kicks off in a week's time. Kimanzi has immense experience and has handled the Harambee Stars, the national under-23 team as well. At club level, he has coached Mathare United, Sofapaka FC and Tusker FC. Kimanzi will be assisted by former Thika United coach John Kamau as Samuel Koko handles the goalkeeping department. Wazito is scheduled to open their campaign against Kariobangi Sharks at the Kasarani Stadium.
Is that okay? So can I invite the other members? We just do a nice photo here. Yes.
Go. We need the seats really have a lot. We need the seats. This is
A force to reckon with, I reckon. Now, Romelu Lukaku helped fire Belgium into the UEFA Nations League finals by scoring twice in a 4-2 win over Denmark, while Italy also secured a place in the last four with victory away to Bosnia-Herzegovina. The world's #1 ranked side, Belgium, only required a draw from their last League A Group 2 game at home to Denmark and took an early lead through Yuri Telemans. Jonas Wind equalized for Denmark, but Lukaku got a second-half double and Kevin De Bruyne made sure of the victory. Nacer Chadli scored an own goal in the 4-2 win.
That eventually goes in. Yet another goal. Now the space and time for Hazard, looking for Lukaku! Top quality. Chadli again with a tester for Courtois. And it's an own goal. Nacer Chadli, the player, embarrassed. But it's Courtois' own goal. Now De Bruyne at the other end makes it 4-2. And Denmark's hopes quickly snuffed out by Kevin De Bruyne. From Belotti and arriving.
Now, Italy secured first place in Group 1 with a 2-0 triumph in Sarajevo, thanks to a goal in each half from Torino's Andrea Belotti and Domenico Berardi of Sassuolo. The win that ensured they finished a point ahead of the Netherlands, who came from behind to beat Poland 2-1 away, with captain Giorgino Wijnaldum scoring the winner after Memphis Depay's penalty cancelled out Kamil Joviask's opener. Italy and Belgium join Spain and World Cup holders France in a final tournament, which is expected to be held in Italy in October next year. Let's go to England, who have more than one